And there's actually video footage of her pointing like this. Hi, and welcome to Flaa Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa, and on my channel, I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood, working as an entertainment reporter, and as you know, a lot about Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds, and everyone else involved in the crazy legal drama. And I don't know if you've seen the news lately, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, they're everywhere. We cannot open any website with any entertainment news without seeing them wearing something different in every photo, in every occasion, and posing in front of the paparazzi, signing autographs, smiling, being happy, and feeling popular. It's exhausting. So this is what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to overwhelm us with appearances. So all that negativity that they received will be pushed down in Google and on social media, because now it's all about them looking pretty, looking in love, being supportive of each other, being supportive of their fans, being grateful to Hollywood. Blah, blah, blah. So Blake Lively was at Seth Meyers yesterday. I was a little bit shocked, I have to say, that she actually went on a talk show. This is her first sit-down interview since she sued Justin Baldoni. And of course, she arrived in style in a white gown or dress. White is the color of innocent. I don't think that was a coincidence. I don't think anything with Blake Lively right now is a coincidence. And of course, she spoke to Seth Meyers beforehand on how they could, they had to mention something about everything that's been going on. And she said on his show that she couldn't talk that much about it. But then she said this.
What I can say without going too into it is that this year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life. And I see so many women around afraid to speak, especially right now, afraid to share their experiences. And fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent. But I also acknowledge that many people don't have the opportunity to speak. So I do feel fortunate that I've been able to.
I don't know what to say. I feel like right now, the people that are most upset with Blake Lively are the real victims that have actually survived domestic violence and other forms of abuse. And then they watch her sitting there being their voice. I think it's pretty offensive, especially when you think about the things that she's accused him of. Like, oh, he said I smelled good. Oh, he smelled my hair. Oh, he came into my trailer after I invited him and said I was pumping. I forgot to say that. And oh, he tried to kiss me. Well, I forgot to say that I was the one biting his lip. When you think about all these things that she has accused him of, and then she comes on national television to talk about how she's the voice of all these women out there, and she's so happy that she has this voice. And the worst part was that the audience was really applauding her. Can you imagine being Justin Baldoni and seeing something like that?
And it's the women who have had the ability to use their voice that's kept me strong and helped me in my belief and my fight for the world to be safer for women and girls. It's a pretty simple thing, but nothing. Thank you. It's true.
And I think for all, like I said, for all real victims out there, just watching her sitting up there in her little princess dress, talking about victims, by the way. Someone sent me this video today. I had heard about this incident, that it happened, but I hadn't seen any video proof of it yet. But here it actually is. So during the speech that Blake Lively held on the Time 100 Most Influential Gala, she, as you know, spoke about her mother and her experience being almost killed by a coworker, that a lot of people now are speculating if that coworker was actually a woman, and Blake never said it was a man. So that might be, which is also one thing that I talked about it before. But I mean, yeah, that makes the story very different. Also, people were mentioning that Blake's mom had looked at Ryan and asked, "Should I cry?" And there's actually video footage of her pointing like this. Just look at this.
It's not for us to have shame. It's for them.
Can you believe anything this family is ever saying after watching that? That was just the performance. I don't know what to say. This family, it just never stops. So Blake admitted that she had some of her lowest lows and her highest high this year so far. And it says here in Daily Mail that she's actually been subpoenaed already by Justin Baldoni's team. So she has to share all texts and emails, all communication in regards to It Ends With Us and Justin Baldoni. So this was done last week, apparently, according to Daily Mail. So maybe that's why she went on this tour, overloading us with her presence. Even when she attended Seth Meyers, she walked in wearing one dress, and then she walked out wearing another outfit. And of course, People magazine made an entire article about what she was wearing. I find it so humorous when publications are showing us a photo of a person, and so we can see what they're wearing, and then they're explaining to us like we are blind what she's wearing. But if we were blind, we couldn't read it. So I don't understand what the point of this is. They're not even saying what brands it is if you want to be inspired and maybe buy that dress yourself. It just says her dress featured a plunging neckline and fitted bodies. Bodies? The material at her hips was layered with ruffles before flaring out to just above her ankles. She wore strappy, bedazzled, open-toe heels. For accessories, the Gossip Girl Alan paired her outfit with a stacked gold bracelet with multi-color jewels. Her drop earrings included a pop of color of the center. Okay. Yeah, we could all see that. And then they continue. Lively signature blonde hair was done in a half up, half down style with large, loose curls. Can you imagine being a journalist and you have to sit and do stuff like this? Write what's on this photo and then make her sound even more amazing. Of course, they continue doing the same thing with her second outfits, explaining to us what we're actually seeing in the photo. While Blake was doing this, though, Ryan Reynolds was busy flying out to LA to be at the Hollywood Walk of Fame to support his friends in Green Day, who got a star at Hollywood Walk of Fame yesterday. Why Ryan was there is kind of a mystery, except that he did use one of their songs in Deadpool versus Wolverine, but that's about it. And someone pointed out that Ryan Reynolds spent more time up on the podium having a speech than actually Green Day themselves. He just loves the attention. And of course, he was trying to be funny all the time.
Its earliest days, Green Day being the only child of Doris Day. And that is not the right card. That is.
There's this video of him sitting on the lap of another woman sitting there. I'm glad it wasn't Blake because she could have sued him for SH. I wonder if there was an intimacy coordinator present when he was sitting on this woman's lap. It's crazy to me how busy Blake and Ryan are, and all she cares about is her family, as she talks about so much in interviews. I'm like, when do you ever have time to see your kids? Also, it was interesting that Ryan Reynolds was running around signing autographs for people, for Deadpool fans, when the whole event was to honor someone else, Green Day. But he made it, of course, about himself, running over to fans. Why did people go to an event for Green Day on Walk of Fame, bringing a Deadpool poster? But the fact that Ryan Reynolds just took so much attention away from the people that were being honored, it's just like, oh my God, it never ends. Talking about being self-absorbed, someone sent me this photo outside of Blake and Ryan's building in New York, where on the opposite side of their building, she has arranged, I'm sure she did it, I don't know if it's by accident, but there is a poster there of Another Simple Favor. So I guess when she wakes up in the morning, she can just open the curtains and just look at herself with her name a little higher than Anna Kendrick on that poster and admire the view. Also, Another Simple Favor premiered on Amazon yesterday. And there's been some reviews out today. Remember, I think it was IMDb, I think it was IMDb who removed the reviews from Google so that you couldn't review the movie because it got so many 1 stars because people were protesting against Blake Lively that way. But it seems like a lot of the professional, whatever reviewers out there are not too excited about this movie either. Washington Post gave it 1 star, and they're saying, to paraphrase a t-shirt, everyone here went to the Isle of Capri, and all we got was this lousy movie. Not great. And at Globe and Mail, they say, just please stop. Seattle Times is saying the plot is a mess and the runtime is overlong. The Guardian says another simple favor drops threads and drags on, but survives on its self-assured baseline pleasures. New York Times, on the other hand, they kind of like it, surprise, surprise. They say another simple favor is a 2-hour vacation I'm not mad to have taken. Anyways, let me know if you're going to watch Another Simple Favor or if you're going to stay away. I am so on the fence about this, but as I said, I feel like I have to watch it just to know what's going on. The clips I've seen, it just reminds me that Blake Lively is not a great actress, and apparently Anna Kendrick is a lot more in the movie. She's carrying the movie, so Blake isn't even in it that much. But yeah. Okay, I wanted to add a little tip at the end there because someone sent me an email today and said, hey, can you help me? I want to get into entertainment journalism. Can you give me some tips? So here's a tip to everyone asking people for tip. If you want a good tip from someone, you have to be really specific about what you want. That's my number 1 rule as a journalist as well. If I'm asking someone a question, don't ever be very general with your questions. You have to be really specific with your question to get good answers. Like, how can I answer a tip to get into entertainment journalism when I don't know, do you want to be a writer? Do you want to do television? Do you want to have your own channel? Are you in it because you like celebrities? Do you want to just take selfies with celebrities? What is your motivation and what is your goal? And I think that goes for every occupation out there. If you just want to get into something without really knowing exactly what you want, it's so much harder to find your way. So that's my tip of the day to everyone. You know, if I ask someone, like, for example, I would ask an actress, what is it like for you to juggle work and being a mom at the same time? How can anyone answer that? You can write books about that. Instead, I would ask, now that you have kids that are like a little more grown up, do they enjoy watching your movies? Do you bring them to set with you? Do your kids understand what you do for a living now? So yeah, if you ask really general questions, you're never going to really get good answers. Anyways, that's my experience and that's my tip of today because it's the weekend and I'm probably not going to do an episode tomorrow, but I think I'll do one on Sunday. And other than that, you'll see me every day. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate all your support and your tips. Keep them coming. And thanks again for subscribing if you have. And if you haven't, please do and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.